if they're here. Hey everyone, if you're seeing me today, I hope I can see you as well. We will be starting in about a few minutes. So, roam around, do whatever you need to do, and I'll see you in about 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, well, good morning and good afternoon to everyone who's in here. It's so lovely to see you all virtually. Okay, so we're going to have a very interesting session today where we're going to learn about digital wallets, what they are, the differences, and obviously, how you can start using it. Obviously, a lot of people are familiar with the likes of MetaMask, which personally, even if I'm in the crypto space for a couple of years now, I still find it a little bit of a struggle. So today, what we're going to learn is how what digital wallets are, and obviously, how you guys can start using it. My name is Lindane, and I'm the co-founder of SatoshiWomen. We advocate crypto literacy for women from all walks of life. And I'm also the managing director for Impact District, where we create meaningful experiences in the metaverse. With joining us today and delivering the session is Jason, who is an avid art collector and blockchain enthusiast. Having first discovered Bitcoin in 2014, you got to tell us how much you got it for, Jason, and how much they're worth, well, now through mining. And with the emergence of NFTs, Jason shifted his focus from tokens over to digital collectibles. At Dotted, or DDTD, Jason advises corporates looking to enter Web3. From NFT road mapping to token design for loyalty programs, Jason will work closely with partners to deliver a finished product. Joining him later after he delivers digital wallets one-on-one, perhaps for about 20, 25 minutes, he will be joined by Rohit Tandon, who is currently the technical architect with XCC Foundation. He's currently managing XCC Pay and NFT, along with helping developers and the community with their projects and integrations. So we'll call him in after the digital wallet one-on-one, but I hope you guys enjoy Jason's session, and see you later.
Thank you so much for the intro. Let me start off by saying that 2014, was a very different time. Most of the money that I made back then, I spent it all on JPEGs during the NFT wave. So there's not much upside from there, right? So yeah, without further ado, let me get started on the presentation today. We're going to be looking at hot and cold wallets. Essentially, so a crypto wallet is a digital wallet that allows you to store, manage, and transfer your crypto assets. So today, like I said, we're going to look at hot wallets versus cold wallets. So hot wallets, what are they? So they're called hot wallets because they're connected to the internet, and they're therefore more vulnerable to hacking attacks. Um, they're convenient. That's why people use them. So why would you use a hot wallet? Well, if you're someone who frequently trades or someone who utilizes a lot of transactions, then a hot wallet might be something for you, right? If you're somewhat of a hodler, it's like a little Web3 jargon, people who like to buy tokens or coins and then hold them without trading them much, then something like a cold wallet might be more for you, right? So a cold wallet, as I said before, are not connected to the internet, so they're therefore more secure. They're typically used to store large amounts of cryptocurrencies. So you might have heard of something called whales, which are wallets or users that have a vast amount of crypto. Usually they started a long time ago and were able to accumulate wealth. They will typically store their assets in cold wallets to prevent them from being hacked and stolen, right? Now, within this segment falls hardware wallets and software wallets. I'm going to jump into that a little bit later. But essentially, hardware wallets, as the name suggests, they're physical devices. You might have heard the name Ledger, a French company that specializes in wallets. There's a lot of them nowadays, but definitely Ledger is the most famous of them all. Software wallets are digital wallets that can be downloaded, and they can be both hot and cold wallets, right? So that's a little macro overview about what we're going to take a look at today. Once again, because this is a 101 class and wallets is the topic of wallets is so vast that I'd like to spend most of the time looking at main ideas. And if time allows it, the crowd can ask questions afterwards, right? So jumping into this hot wallets further explained. So as I said before, hot wallets are digital wallets that are connected to the internet and are therefore more vulnerable to hacking attacks. Why are they used? Well, they're used for frequent trades and transactions. So what are some examples of hot wallets? Well, the most famous, you would have mobile wallets, right? So digital wallets that are downloadable and you can put them on your phone. MetaMask being the most famous of them all, right? So you can typically have it on your smartphone or tablet. They're convenient to make transactions. If you go to a crypto-friendly place, or for example, last year when I was over at Consensus in Austin, a lot of the restaurants and bars were also accepting crypto over there for that weekend. And therefore, having a mobile wallet makes it a lot more convenient to send things like USDC or even Ethereum, for example, right? I'm not going to whip out my desktop or my laptop for that matter and make a transaction, right? So then, which brings me to my next point, you have your desktop wallets, which are once again hot wallets over here. They're digital wallets that are downloaded. The underlying infrastructure between a mobile wallet and a desktop wallet, to my understanding, is very similar. Their security is not at the forefront of why they were designed. Now, the desktop wallet offers a little bit more security because of the fact that you're typically not going to be bringing your desktop out everywhere you go. If it's a laptop, it's a different scenario. But your mobile wallets and your desktop wallets, because they're hot wallets, security is not at the forefront, right? Mobile wallets are a little bit less secure than desktop wallets because, like I said, you go around everywhere with your mobile device. If you lose it, if you open an email that has a virus on it, it grabs your seed phrase for your MetaMask. You could get compromised. So that's what I mean by mobile wallets being not as secure as desktop wallets. But in the grand scheme of things, they fall under the hot wallet category, which means connected to the internet, thus not as secure as you would like it to be, especially not something I would put my life savings into, right? Your online wallets, these are digital wallets that are accessed through web browser, so essentially an extension, all fall under the same category. Now, a lot of people have asked me, so Jason, why is a MetaMask not safe? Now, MetaMask itself is not the reason that it can be hacked, right? The problem with the MetaMask is when you download the MetaMask, your seed phrase is actually stored in a file within your computer, right? So if your computer gets compromised and the hackers are able to retrieve this small file, they can effectively grab your seed phrase and then they have access to your wallet, right? There's different ways that you can go about securing this. For example, what you could do is you could put your MetaMask onto a ledger, so a hot wallet onto a cold wallet. But once again, that's diving really into it, which for the sake of today's class and time or session, we won't be jumping into it, right? So some of the pros of using a hot wallet, obviously convenience. Hot wallets are super convenient for making frequent trades because they are on your mobile device, be it a laptop, be it a mobile phone. They can be easily accessed and therefore do not require hardware on top of that to make a transaction or trade, right? So this falls under ease of use, quick transactions because you have it at your fingertips. And another thing is that a lot of times these hot wallets provide an integration with exchanges, right? So exchanges play a very pivotal key role in crypto, especially for on-ramping and off-ramping trading of assets. So if your wallet integrates with some of the bigger tier one exchanges, it could be very useful, right? So I mentioned over here the pros of using a hot wallet. Now what we can do is jump into the cons of a hot wallet. I mentioned before that convenience and security are two opposing ideas. So the cons of a hot wallet, security being one of the big issues. So hot wallets are less secure than cold wallets because they're connected to the internet and are therefore more vulnerable to hacking attacks. If a hacker gains access to your hot wallet, they may steal your seed phrase and essentially all your cryptocurrency, right? Another downside of a hot wallet is loss or theft. Hot wallets are vulnerable to loss or theft because they're stored on a device that is portable and that can be lost or stolen, right? Privacy is also another issue that affects a lot of these hot wallets. They might not offer this, they probably do not offer the same level of privacy as some of the cold wallets. Outside the fact that they're connected to the internet, the infrastructure behind the wallets, depending on which wallet you take, could be concerning, right? So that's why it's always important to do your own research prior to acquiring a wallet, be it hot or cold. The last thing would be, once again, riding on the pros of a hot wallet. Uh, Sometimes hot wallets may not be compatible with the latest type of crypto. For example, some hot wallets may only support certain types, and some of the features might not be available for a particular cryptocurrency. For example, within the wallet staking is something that some people want, especially from the DeFi angle. And, and that might not be available on certain wallets. Last but not least, the fees. Hot wallet, to clarify, greater, then it might not be the best use of time to have that asset transferred to my cold wallet every single time uh, 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 I, I want to do something with it, right? Might be better just to leave it hot wallet And on top of that, every single time you send it, you send the asset out. There's gas fees that need to be paid. So that's something to be worried about as well.
Hello, all. I think Jason is currently, a bit disconnected. Jason, can you hear us?
Okay. So one, how to say in 16, and essentially they were wallets that
Hey, Jay. Hi. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
hey.
think he got caught off in about the last 2-3 minutes. So yeah.
Oh no. Okay. So was that on the cold wallet part?
Yeah, I believe it was
Yeah.
on cold wallet part. Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Okay. So let me just start right there. Sorry about that. The internet is iffy at best over here. So as I was saying, cold wallets, they really break into two main categories. You have your hardware wallet and your paper wallets. So your hardware wallets are physical devices that you can store your cryptocurrency offline. The biggest ones being Ledger and Trezor. Now, paper wallets is something that I just want to talk about for historical purposes. A paper wallet was popular back in 2009 all the way to, I'd say, 2016. They're not popular anymore because obviously hardware wallets have overtaken paper wallets in terms of security and features that they can offer. So a paper wallet, as the name suggests, are physical documents that contain your public and private keys. So back in the day, they were considered a secure way to store your cryptocurrencies because they were not connected to the internet and therefore less vulnerable to hacking attacks. But of course, being a paper wallet, it can be lost or damaged, right? So you really have to make backup copies. And if you're making like 10 backup copies, then obviously that's a security concern as well, right? For time's sake, cold wallets are a good choice to store large amounts of cryptocurrency that are not that you don't have planned to actively trade or use. They offer the highest level of security, but they are not as convenient as hot wallets for frequent trades or transactions, right? So really quickly over here, the pros of using a cold wallet: security being number one. Number two, offline storage. So cold wallets, you can use them to store your crypto assets offline. Privacy. So cold wallets offer a higher level of privacy than hot wallets. Not just because they're not connected to the internet, but because of the software that's integrated with the security protocols of these cold wallets. And a lot of times, especially with Ledger, compatibility is something that is very sought after. Ledger has worked really hard in the Web3 space to partner up with different protocols to offer, let's say, for example, staking from within the Ledger app, right? So really seeking to maximize security and efficiency if you're not someone who trades frequently, right? So quickly onto the cons of a cold wallet. Cold wallets are inconvenient because of the fact that every transaction needs to be approved. There's multiple passwords that need to be input. So you can imagine with security comes a lack of convenience, right? Cold wallets, loss or theft, that's another issue. Cold wallets are vulnerable to loss or theft because they're physical devices or documents that can be lost or stolen, right? And of course, with crypto, there's no money back, right? It's not something that you can You can go back to the manufacturer and be like, hey, listen, I lost my ledger. Do you think you can go into this wallet and then send me all my assets back? No, there's no such thing, right? So loss or theft is a very important one. Lack of features. Sometimes cold wallets may not have all the best features, case by case, and especially depending on the company you use. But the UI UX is sometimes lacking when it comes to these products and features, right? So to quickly sum everything up, because I know that we're running out of time here. So a comparison between hot and cold wallets. So your hot wallet, of course, is connected to the internet. Your cold wallet is not. Your hot wallet is more vulnerable to hacking attacks. Your cold wallet is obviously less vulnerable to hacking attacks because it's offline. There's no online transaction that's done. With that comes inconvenience, right? So that's my next point. A hot wallet convenient for making frequent trades or transactions, not the case for a cold wallet because of the password that you got to enter, the sign in, so the message approvals. So another benefit of a hot wallet, it can be accessed from any device with an internet connection. Unfortunately, a cold wallet, it requires you to have the physical device as well. So you always have to carry your ledger around. So if you're on vacation, might not be the best to have a ledger if you're executing trades. But then again, there's different things that can be done to fix this, right? And of course, the integration with exchanges and other features that are available for hot wallets. But to sum everything up, essentially, hot wallets, if you're a degen, if you're really into trading, convenience that comes from a hot wallet is unparalleled. Offside is that you have to sacrifice security. Cold wallet benefit is that you can keep your assets safe, away from theft, away from hacks. You don't have to worry about your seed phrase being stolen. Inconvenience is if you're trying to utilize this strategy for day trading or just flipping NFTs, you're going to quickly find that your gas fees are going to eat up all your profits. Second thing is it's going to be extremely time consuming to execute, right? So before I finish off, the last thing I wanted to say is that there's custodial and non-custodial wallets. So simply put, a custodial wallet is a wallet that is that you don't own the seed phrase. And why that's important, talk a little bit about FTX and the slogan, not your coins, not your keys, not your coins, right? So a custodial wallet is a wallet that allows you to transact, but at the end of the day, because you don't own your keys, you don't own the control to that wallet. So what happens is that if you're using custodized wallet, is that the exchange, the owner of that wallet, can essentially drain all your funds or lock you out of that wallet, right? A non-custodial wallet, something like, or a self-custodial wallet, something like MetaMask, is gives you your seed phrase as well. So you manage your wallet. The downside to that is if your seed phrase is ever compromised, if you lose your wiped, you're on your own. So all the asset wallet are gone. And this has happened time and time again. You guys can take a look at this. So do your own research before purchasing or downloading a wallet. There is no perfect wallet. It really depends on the situation, scenario you're using the wallet for. And effectively, my advice, once again, my advice, do your own research, would be to have a small amount of crypto in a hot wallet that you're using to trade if you're actively trading. Same thing applies to NFTs. And for your assets that you hold for long term, keep those in a cold wallet, keep those safe, and definitely keep your seed phrase to yourself, right? And that way you can protect all your assets and get the best of both worlds. So hopefully I had a chance to explain hot wallets and cold wallets. Time being an issue, I can't really jump into every single part of it. But yeah, that's it for me.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jay. That's very useful session. We probably can call in Rohit now, and we can dive into our little Q&A session. I do have obviously, questions for both of these gentlemen in terms of, how what they're building at the moment. But I'm also very curious, right? Because I'm not sure how many in our audience here have been in the crypto space for a while, but I'd like to see what your views are in terms of practical sort of steps, right? In terms of, again, adopting this digital wallets, because obviously the very first encounter you'll have is buying an NFT through the website, right, or a marketplace, for example, right? So everything sits in my phone or my laptop and whatnot, right? And when is the moment that you guys have decided, okay, it's time for me to own a uh, a cold wallet, hard wallet, right? Or it's time for me to buy a ledger, for example, because ledger is obviously not cheap, right? So you obviously have to quantify, okay, how much how much digital assets do I own versus what I'm spending for ledger, right? So I just kind of wanted to see what your views are. Obviously, collecting all this, having all this crypto, your NFTs and all that stuff is fantastic, but it's also very important that you're able to secure your assets and not fall into the trap of, obviously, what's happened in a couple of exchanges out there, and a lot of people have lost, obviously, their assets, like what you said, Jay, not your keys, not your crypto, right? So I think just wanted to kind of get an idea from you on how, like, practically you have to decide on how to sort of like secure your assets.
Sure, sure. So do you want me to take this one, Rohit, or do you want to go first?
No, go ahead, Jay. I think you can add more value to that. I'll pitch in a while.
Okay. So I would actually, that's a very good question, Lindane. I would actually advise anyone to go ahead and grab that ledger from the very beginning, from the get-go. Doesn't matter how much crypto you have, because at the end of the day, it's so important to own your own keys. And you do get that with something like a MetaMask, but as you scale, you're going to need a solution that protects you better, right? So if that's the case moving forward, then why not start from the very beginning? It doesn't matter if you have $1, $1,000, $1 million. Obviously, if you have $1 million, having a ledger protects you a lot more. But in this journey, I think it's so important, so vital for people to understand security from the get-go and get familiar with using this technology, not to be afraid of setting up your ledger because it's difficult to set up. So you're compromising security because you didn't take the time at the beginning to learn these. Because by the time you get really into it, and I see you're smiling, it's like you're ready, you understand crypto, but you don't want to get a ledger because it's too hard to set up, right? So do that from the very beginning so that when you're ready to actually transfer your wealth over to a ledger, you have the know-how to do so, right? So definitely from the get-go, get yourself a ledger, get familiar with how these hardware wallets work to protect yourself, is what I want to say.
Yeah, I think I may add something there. What Jay has said, I completely endorse him. One should always be invested in a hardware wallet, cold wallet, for so that you own your own currency, you own your own investments there. Nobody will be able to hack your systems, or in case of custodial wallet, what we have seen is some of the exchanges went down, and then with that, all your earnings were taken away, with no fault of yours own. So I'm a big advocate of people owning their own investments in form of cryptos, and then hardware wallets are really cool in that ways. Of course, we do have hot wallets, but it comes with its own risk. Like Jay said, it can get hacked, your system can get hacked, and your keys can be compromised, and then you don't own your keys and wallet immediately. So absolutely, I think hardware makes sense, and I think the ecosystem is building now. People are building some very good product in terms of hardware. Trezor is one. It comes with your thumb print security as well. So you put your thumbprint, put it in your USB drive, in your USB slot on your computer, and automatically gets connected to your web wallet, you can do easy transactions and you can authorize that there. I think systems are building now. They are getting much more user friendly. They are getting very simple to use that. I think there might just be a phobia of people, trying, getting repelled by, having another hardware in their hand and then trying to understand how to use that. But it's not very difficult to use that. Just simply set it up. It has, step by step instructions on all hardware wallets, and just take control of your own investments there. That's what I say.
Do you guys have any alternatives to Ledger? Because obviously, Ledger is dominating the market. Do you guys have any alternatives? And also, I think, any practical sort of advice to our audience in terms of where do they purchase these hardware wallets, right? Because I was told I should only buy it from their website and nowhere else. So I guess if you guys can kind of like give insights in that, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, I think there is one called Trezor, which is in direct competition with Ledger, and I think there are a few more which are coming up. And like you said, Lydian, it's always better to buy it straight from the manufacturer itself. You can be 100% sure that nothing has been tampered inside those hardware wallets, and whatever software has been written is being written and handed over to you by the manufacturer itself.
Yeah, totally. So Trezor is a big one. I had the opportunity of meeting a Taiwanese company called SecureX or SecureX, or yes, SecureX, right? A play on SecureX. And they were at Consensus as NFT NYC. And what really caught my attention is that at the time, they were the first ones to make a wallet that had an LCD that you can go ahead and display your NFTs, right? So a Taiwanese-based company, but like Rohit said, Trezor and Ledger leading wallets in the space, and totally agree with you guys. You have to buy the wallet from the manufacturer, right? There's so many scams out there that can occur that you don't really want to put yourself in that position. So instead of saving that, I don't know, like $40-$50, just go ahead. By the official thing, right?
Yeah, I got a few on Black Friday, so I got 10% off.
Excellent.
Okay, well, this is obviously one-on-one. I just want to let people know the basics, right? And quite frankly, I've been in this space for a couple of years, but I still feel like I still lack a lot of knowledge, right? We're all learning here. And I think some of people, because they get so excited, there's always something super shiny in Web3 that people forget about the basics, right? And especially security. Again, what you guys said, buying a hardware wallet should start from the very, very beginning, right? The moment you basically decide to get yourself a digital asset, it should also be the moment that you start, owning a hardware wallet to obviously, store it and protect your assets. Okay, so now what I want to talk about is obviously get your views in terms of what you guys are building. Perhaps I can start with you, Jay. What are you building at Dotted, right? Like, how is it different from all the other wallets that has been existing, which unfortunately only caters to people who actually would want to put their hearts and minds into Web3, which obviously kind of stops a greater adoption with the masses. So I wanted to kind of get your views on that. And I think the same goes for you, Rohit. What are you building in XDC right now that is quite different from, the chains that are currently used, which is obviously your Ethereums and your Polygons and your BSC. So we'd like to get your views. Perhaps you can start with Dotted J. Give us a little bit of a short overview on what Dotted is, how is it different, and also how it can be much more, say, potentially useful to new users or people who are already got exposed a lot on Web3, and also perhaps to like corporates who wanted to kind of integrate Web3 into some of their initiatives.
Sure, I'd love to. Thank you for that. So Dotted, first was conceptualized from the founders of my company, Bosco Lin, Chris Jung, and Lawrence Chu. And a little background about just Bosco and Chris and Lawrence. Lawrence is Web3 OG, founder of Kinetic Capital back in the day, big supporter of crypto, the arts, and everything Web3. Bosco was originally from Alipay Hong Kong founding team, so mass market wallet. And Chris Jung is from Arano Capital, Hong Kong's first SFC regulated crypto fund, right? So these three founders have a multitude of experience in Web3. And one of the big issues they found was that it's inconvenient to talk to people. There's no centralized platform. There's no platform to talk to a certain owner of an NFT. So if you're the owner of a Bored Ape with gold fur, it's practically impossible for me to talk to you unless I have your Discord handle or if I have your Twitter handle, right? There's no wallet-to-wallet communication. So Dotted was first conceptualized with this in mind, but it has since evolved so much because when you get into wallet-to-wallet chat, then you want to bring in more users into the space. That's what we realized. And just having wallet-to-wallet chat is not going to bring in more users. You have to offer tools that simplify the entry barrier. So as I mentioned before, if we can create something where my mother or my father can easily acquire their first NFT, then we've succeeded. So that became the primary basis of Dotted, right? So how do we do that? We have a wallet solution that you can either connect your MetaMask. If you don't have one of those, we can create a wallet for you with a simple email, phone number. Then we have on-ramp, off-ramp directly built into the app. So for those of you who don't know, on-ramp is funding crypto into your wallet. Off-ramp is selling your crypto for fiat, for actual currency, right? Now, why is that important? Because someone like my mother, after she's created her wallet, the next pain point becomes funding this wallet, right? So if you have to tell her, go on Binance, go on Kraken, create another account, she's going to be like, hey, forget it. I'm done with this NFT. Like, don't bother me for the next 5 years, right? So this is why we created this platform so that it's really so that my mother can get her first NFT, right? And with that, why we use our parents is that if the technology is so easy to use and friendly to use that older folks with zero experience can get into it, that will lead to mass adoption. And then with NFTs, NFTs offer a very social element as opposed to tokens, for example, or even DeFi, right? Like DeFi Summer attracted a lot of people, folks from the financial sector. Crypto attracted another segment. But NFTs, being art and GameFi related, will onboard the next wave of users into the space. Gamers, creators, everyone has something they can relate to when it comes to NFTs, right? Because of the art that comes with it. So with that, Dotted was conceptualized. So a Web3 social platform to help onboard the next 100 million users into the space, right? And then Lyndon, you mentioned how Dotted can help corporates. Well, so a lot of corporates are looking, especially in Asia, are looking into NFTs maybe purely from a marketing angle. Some obviously more for utility, membership, and whatnot, but for the majority of them, I would say it's from a marketing angle, right? So how do their users, which are effectively my parents, get their first NFT, right? So you've created a wallet. Now your new wallet has no crypto inside of it. For them to on-ramp is going to take a lot of time. You're going to have a lot of drop-off, right? So what we've done at Dotted is we call it the gasless mint. But in fact, it's another wallet that pays for the gas. So what that does is that a fresh wallet that has been whitelisted from, let's say, someone like Starbucks or Nike or Maxim, for example, that wallet can mint the NFT in question without having any crypto inside on Ethereum and Polygon, right? So we're essentially a turnkey solution for corporates to deliver that wallet and deliver that NFT. And we've done so for Hong Kong Palace Museum and Bupa, the insurance agency over here in Hong Kong.
Amazing. Great. Can you share a little bit more on what you're doing with Bupa? It's obviously an insurance company, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so Bupa is an insurance company. They were looking to tap into a younger segment of the market because they realized that one of the pain points that they have right now is a lot of people that are purchasing insurance are older folks, right? So they wanted to penetrate a younger demographic. And through Web3, it's one of the ways to accomplish this goal, right? Currently, as it stands, the Bupa NFT is simply just a PFP, a profile picture, but there's plans to evolve this PFP into utility. So for example, holders of this NFT get 15% off their premium, right? Once again, this is just an example. This is not what they're going ahead and do, but there's a million things that can evolve from this. And it also, for Bupa, it becomes a CRM tool, right? Because then Bupa can check what's in this wallet, what are the activities. It becomes part of a digital identity, so that Bupa can go ahead and track user actions, what they're used to doing, what type of crypto, and then that can be fed into a risk engine and determine other facets, right? So definitely just the starting point, but that's what we did for Bupa.
Amazing. That's good to hear. I mean, what I'm super excited about is how Web3 can start penetrating, again, your day-to-day, I would say, things that you consume, right? And how that's going to kind of like change or elevate, I would say, my physical life using obviously my virtual assets. So looking forward, Jay, on, what's going to come up with that. Definitely will make insurance a little bit more interesting and exciting. Rohit, okay, so your turn. Can you tell me more about what you guys are doing there at XDC? And obviously, I think what I mentioned earlier, how it's different from the other chains that that typically a lot of the projects use, and where do you see addressing what you're doing right now in terms of again greater adoption of Web3 in the context of digital wallets, obviously.
So let me introduce XDC first. So XDC is the third generation layer one, as we call it. And it was created with in fact, four things in mind. One is the global trade and finance. So we support global trade and finance. That means the network is fully compliant KYC. So what it means is anybody who participates in a master node, we do full KYC on them. We do full AML on them, which not many blockchains at this point of time is doing. And it's immediately gets valid for your trade finance, your tokenization on the system there. Then other parts is, XDC was invented because there were three primary problems with, generation 2 and generation 1 blockchains. It was speed. The time to transaction would be in minutes to an hour as well, right? Bitcoin, we have seen anywhere between 15 minutes to 60 minutes is an average time of a transaction. Ethereum put it down to about 15 minutes, or about 10 to 15 minutes, but still it's on a higher side. So we wanted to take that time down, the transaction time down there. Then the second is the cost benefit. We have seen that the transaction cost on blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum, they are much higher, up to $50, $60, $100 as well to do a transactions there. Whereas on our, it's even less than a cent, right? I mean, probably it's like $0.00001 per transaction there. So that's the kind of gas fees that you pay on the system. Third is the energy consumption. So what we have seen is majority of the generation 1 and generation 2, they were hogging a lot of electricity, right? That is where the movement came in. So on comparison, Bitcoin chain does about 71 terawatts per hour consumption. Ethereum does about 20 terawatts per hour, whereas XTC takes about 0.000074 terawatts per hour. So that's the reason we call it a carbon neutral blockchain, where we don't consume the energy for using the blockchain or making a transaction on the system there. Now that's there. We are building more in terms of global finance, like we said, and quite recently we launched Euros, which is a stable coin on the XTC network there. So that gives the user the power to do a lot of transactions and not pay a lot of gas fees at that point of time. So that's about XTC. What we are building on top of this are digital assets, digital tokenization of that. Trada is one good example of the tokenization assets on global finance that has been done there. Euros is another, which is the stable currency there. And then there are more ecosystem that is being built on top of it there. We do have our own XTC Pay, which is your own wallet that supports XTC as token right out of the box there. And then we do have mobile applications, mobile wallets, as well as a web wallet that a user can use. Apart from that, we are also into NFTs now, like Jason was saying. So we do support, since it's an EVM compatible, you can actually execute any of your Ethereum code on our network without any changes to that.
So Rohit, I have a question. So if I'm, say, an artist or a company, for example, that would choose, say, XCC as a blockchain for, say, an NFT project that I wanted to release. So, like, how do I go about it? Where do I find you guys, and how do I use it?
All right, so XTC.zin. So we are basically known as Zinfin, as a Zinfin blockchain. So you can go to zinfin.org and you would find a lot of information over there in terms of what is Zinfin, how to get connected there. Then we do have a developer community which is buzzing with a lot of developers and people trying to use there. It's called xtc.dev. Any information that is required by any developer can actually go there and post it there, and almost immediately the response can be put in there. We do have also onto Discord channel. We have our XTC Foundation as a Discord, as well as on Telegram that we are at.
Awesome. Well, I think we're running out of time, and really grateful for all the audience that tuned in today. I think what we can do is we'll probably let the audience know how they can get in touch with you, Jay, or Dotted, for example, and also Rohit as well, because you guys are doing super amazing stuff. This is not a paid advert, but I've used Dotted myself, and it's quite fun to use and very easy. I'm just excited to use all this stuff because it gives me hope that more and more people would actually start using Web3 outside of, I would say, your crypto degens, right? So yeah, so tell us more about how our audience can get in touch with you and know more about your projects.
Rohit, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So I think anybody who wants to reach out to me or XTC, you can reach out to me at rohit@xtc.org. That's my email address. I'm also available on both Discord and Telegram with the name Luxin3. that's my nick there. So you can just search out for me at Luxin3 or reach out to me at rohit@xtc.org, and I'll be happy to take things with you.
Awesome. Jay?
Awesome. Sorry, I was trying to hit the unmute button. Yeah, so thank you so much for the kind words. Dotted_NFT is how you can find us on Twitter. We're live on Apple iOS and Android as well. So you can just go on those platforms and just look up Dotted, DTTD, and it will be Dotted messaging app. My own personal Twitter, so my doxed one would be at JHK_ETH. Can't really give off my undoxed one. And my LinkedIn is JLauHK. So feel free, or you can just look up Dotted and look up the employees there. Happy to answer any questions if you guys want to reach out, and looking to do more of these sessions if you'll have us.
Awesome. Thanks, Rohit, and thanks, Jay, again. I'll see you, everyone in the audience, here in about, I would say, like 20 minutes. We're going to have another session on why Metaverse matters. And again, thanks, gentlemen, and also thanks, MetaBlocks, for hosting us today. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.